Alrighty, there we go. Here is my ID. My name is Andrew Hill, and we have another classmate that is not on the call with us. We've tried getting in contact with him. His name is Brack, and we are having our time making contact with him. So we're just going to go ahead without him, and if he jumps in later, you won't see this recording. Um, Hello, my name is Andrew Hill. For the introduction, this project analyzes Chick-fil-A's position within the fast food industry in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The goal is to evaluate market structure, barriers to entry, changes in local economic condition, and factors that influence the demand and supply for Chick-fil-A's products. Tulsa provides a strong case study because it is a large metropolitan area with steady economic activity, a growing population, and a competitive restaurant market. By examining GDP, demographics, and cost of living, as well as the restaurant's strategic environment, we will build a full picture of how Chick fil A fits into Tulsa's microeconomic landscape. Market structure of Chick fil A operates most closely resembles monopolistic competition. In Tulsa, there are many fast food restaurants offering similar but not identical products. Chick fil A competes with McDonald's, Wendy's, Raising Cane's, Popeyes, and other local eateries, all of which sell quick service meals at comparable prices. However, each brand differentiates its products through taste, menu options, service style, and brand reputation. Chick fil A, for example, focus heavily on customer service, consistency, and its signature chicken sandwich, which gives it some market power. In monopolistic competition, firms face downward sloping demand curves because consumers view each restaurant as slightly different. This fits the fast food environment in Tulsa, where customers choose based on preference, convenience, or brand loyalty. Entry into the market is relatively easy, but not effortless, because opening a new restaurant requires permits, funding, and favorable location access. Still, the presence of numerous competing chains reinforces that no single restaurant controls price or output. This combination of differentiation, many sellers, product differentiation, and easy entry places Chick fil A squarely inside a monopolistic competitive industry. While fast food markets have relatively open entry compared to heavily regulated industry, there are still real barriers that make it difficult for new firms to compete with Chick fil A in Tulsa. The first major barrier is brand loyalty. Chick fil A has a well established reputation built on consistent food quality and customer service. This level of recognition is hard for new restaurants to match without spending significant money on market making. Secondly, prime locations in Tulsa are limited. Fast food restaurants depend on high traffic areas, especially near shopping centers, highways, or major intersections. Chick fil A already occupies several strong locations, including near Woodland Hills Mall, Tulsa Hills, and South Tulsa, making it harder for new entrants to find equally visible and convenient spots. The third barrier is the capital investment required to open and operate a modern fast food restaurant. New entrants must cover costs such as building, construction, equipment, staff training, and startup inventory. For franchise operations, fees and strict requirements can further increase this financial burden. Finally, Chick fil A benefits from a well developed supply chain with reliable access to ingredients at competitive prices. Large chains are able to purchase goods in bulk and maintain stable supplier relationship, lowering their per unit cost. Independent restaurants or smaller startups in Tulsa would not have that advantage and may face higher input costs. Together, these factors create meaningful barriers that protect Chick fil A's position in the market. Tulsa GDP from 2018 to 2023. To understand how Chick fil A fits into Tulsa's economic environment, it is useful to look at the changes in real gross domestic product for Tulsa metropolitan area from 2018 to 2023. Real GDP measures the total value of goods and services produced in the region. Adjusted for inflation, these figures provide insight into the overall economic health of the area, which directly influences consumer spending and the demand for fast food. From 2018 to 2023, Tulsa's real GDP experienced a temporary decline followed by a full recovery and modest growth. In 2018, the Tulsa Metro's the Tulsa Metro's real GDP was slightly above $53 billion. Like many regions, Tulsa saw a clear decline in 2020 due to the economic effect of the COVID-19 pandemic. During that year, real GDP fell to around $49 billion, reflecting disruptions in employment, reduced travel, and a slowdown in consumer spending. After 2020, Tulsa's GDP gradually recovered. By 2022, output had climbed back above $51 billion, and by 2023, the real GDP reached approximately $53.9 billion, surpassing its pre-pandemic level. The rebound demonstrated that Tulsa's economy has stabilized and returned to a path of steady activity. For firms like Chick-fil-A, this means that the overall economic environment in Tulsa is healthy enough to support strong consumer demands for restaurant meals.
GDP trend meaning for Chick-fil-A demand. The movement of Tulsa's real GDP from 2018 through 2023 help explains how consumer spend power has changed and what that means for Chick-fil-A's demand. During the pandemic-related decline in 2020, many households experienced income uncertainty, job reductions, or temporary business closures, which genuinely lowered spending at restaurants. Even though Chick-fil-A was still able to operate through drive-through and mobile orders, overall demand in the fast food softened for a period of time. As Tulsa's real GDP recovered from 2021 onward, consumers' activity picked back up and spending patterns returned to more normal levels. With real GDP in 2023 rising slightly above its 2018 level, it shows that the area has regained economic stability and returned to steady output. A stronger economic usually economy, oh my gosh, usually means more employment, higher incomes, and more daily movement around the city, all of which support higher demand for convenient meals like those offered by Chick-fil-A. This trend suggests that Chick-fil-A's customer base in Tulsa is operating in a healthier economic environment today compared to the first years after the downturn. Households have more purchasing power and consumer confidence has largely improved. As a result, Chick-fil-A can expect consistent or growing demand in Tulsa going forward. Substitute goods. Substitute goods are products that consumers can choose instead of Chick-fil-A when they want a similar type of meal. In Tulsa, there are many strong substitutes since the fast food industry is competitive and offers a wide range of chicken sandwich options. Major substitute includes Raising Cane's, Popeyes, KFC, McDonald's chicken sandwiches, Wendy's chicken options, and even local restaurants. These alternatives give customers plenty of choices if Chick-fil-A becomes too crowded, raises prices, or if customers simply prefer a variety. Other substitutes include non-chicken fast food places that satisfy the same need for a quick and affordable meal, such as Burger King, Taco Bell, and Sonic. Even convenient food from gas stations or grocery stores, hot bars can act as substitutes during busy hours or customers on the go. The availability of so many substitutes is a key reason why Chick-fil-A operates in a monopolistically competitive market. Consumers can switch to another restaurant if Chick-fil-A does not meet their expectations, so the firm must continue offering quality, speed, and service to stay competitive in Tulsa. Complementary goods. Complementary goods are a product that increases the demand for Chick-fil-A because they are often consumed together or enhance the overall experience of buying its meals. For Chick-fil-A in Tulsa, one of the biggest complements is the purchase of beverages such as soft drinks, lemonade, iced tea, and specialty drinks like seasonal peach shake. These items are commonly bought alongside entrees and add to the total of each value sale. Another major complement is Chick-fil-A signature sauces. Customers who enjoy certain sauces often buy more food items to use them with purchases or purchase multiple sauces at one time. Catering services are also more complimentary for Chick-fil-A since many customers buy a tray of nuggets or sandwiches for events like office meetings, school activities, or church gatherings. In these situations, the event itself acts as a complement because it raises likelihood that large quantities of Chick-fil-A will be purchased. Convenience-related items can also be complementary. For example, mobile ordering and curbside pickup complement the food by making the entire buying process smoother and more efficient for Tulsa customers. These services encourage repeat business and support larger orders because they reduce the waiting time. Together, these complementary goods and services reinforce demand Chick-fil-A and help increase its overall sales.
Several factors can cause the demand for Chick-fil-A in Tulsa to increase or decrease over time. One important demand shifter is changes in consumer income. When income rises, people tend to eat out more often, which boosts demand for fast food meals. On the other hand, if incomes fall or the economy slows down, families may be cut back on restaurant visits and choose to cook at home instead. A second demand shifter is consumer taste and preferences. Chick-fil-A benefits from strong brand loyalty and a reputation for high-quality chicken, but preferences can shift. For example, increased interest in healthier eating could cause someone to reduce fast food consumption, while a growing preference for convenience and quick service might increase demand. A third demand shifter is the population size of Tulsa. As the city grows, the number of potential customers increases, which raises demand for fast food options. Tulsa's gradual population growth supports a steady demand for Chick-fil-A in locations across the metro area. A fourth demand shifter is the prices of substitute goods. If a major competitor like Raising Cane's significantly lowers prices, demand for Chick-fil-A might decline because consumers can switch easily. On the other hand, if competitors raise prices or experience supply problems, more customers may choose Chick-fil-A instead. These factors show how sensitive fast food demand can be to changes in the local market. Supply shifters. Several factors can influence the supply of Chick-fil-A meals in Tulsa by affecting how easily the restaurants can produce and sell its food. One major supply shifter is the cost of ingredients. If the price of chicken, cooking oil, or packaging increases, Chick-fil-A's overall production costs also rise. Higher input costs can reduce supply because it becomes more expensive to make the same amount of food. On the other hand, if the ingredients prices fall or the supply chains becomes more efficient, Chick-fil-A can supply more food at the same price. The second supply shifter is labor availability and wages. If the Tulsa labor market becomes tight and competition for workers increases, Chick-fil-A may need to raise wages to attract employees. This increases production costs and may reduce supply. However, if labor becomes more available or wage pressures ease, Chick-fil-A can operate more efficiently and potentially increase supply. Another important supply shifter is technological improvement. Chick-fil-A has invested heavily in drive-through technology, mobile ordering, kitchen organizations, and inventory systems. These improvements help the restaurant produce food more quickly and accurately, increasing supply by allowing more output per hour. Technology can also reduce waste and lower cost, further supporting a higher supply. A fourth supply shifter is the weather or external disruptions. Major storms, supply chain interruptions, and or transportation delays can affect Chick-fil-A's ability to keep necessary ingredients in stock. These events can temporarily lower supply by limiting production. Conversely, stable weather and smooth transportation networks support consistent supply across all Tulsa locations. In the short run, the demand for Chick-fil-A in Tulsa is likely to be inelastic. This means that if Chick-fil-A increases or decreases its prices, the percentage change in quantity demanded will be smaller than the percentage change in prices. There are several reasons why this makes sense. First, Chick-fil-A has strong brand loyalty. Many customers prefer its chicken sandwiches, waffle fries, and sauces and customer service to what other restaurants offer. Even if prices rise slightly, most of these customers will continue buying their usual meals because they value the product more than the small extra cost. Second, Chick-fil-A offers convenience. Its locations across Tulsa are usually busy and easy to access, and the drive-through process is efficient. Convenience makes demands less sensitive to price changes because customers are often choosing speed and reliability, not just the lowest priced option. Third, although Chick-fil-A does face competition from Raising Cane's, Popeyes, McDonald's, and others, the producers are not a perfect substitute. People who specifically want Chick-fil-A's style of chicken or service experience are less likely to switch over a small price difference. For these reasons, Chick-fil-A's short-run demand is best described as inelastic. Customers may reduce purchases slightly if prices rise, but total sales are not likely to fall sharply. This supports a stable sales environment in Tulsa and helps Chick-fil-A predict revenue with reasonable accuracy. Understanding demographics of Tulsa County helps explain the potential customer base for Chick-fil-A. Tulsa County is one of the largest and most economically active counties in Oklahoma, which makes it a stronger market for fast food restaurants. The population of Tulsa County is a little over 670,000 people, giving Chick-fil-A access to a large, diverse set of consumers. With a metro area this size, the customer base includes families, students, young professionals, and older adults, all of whom contribute to the steady demand for convenient dining options. Household income in Tulsa County averages in the mid 60,000 range. This level of income means that most households have enough disposable income to regularly purchase fast food meals without major financial strain. Higher income typically supports higher overall food spending, both at grocery stores and at restaurants. Additionally, income levels in Tulsa County sit above the Oklahoma state average, suggesting a slightly stronger economic base. Educational attainment also influences spending habits. In Tulsa County, about one-third of the adults hold a bachelor degree or higher. Higher education levels are often linked to more stable employment and higher wages, which can support more frequent dining out. This helps Chick-fil-A maintain a solid customer base across its multiple Tulsa locations. Overall, the combination of a large population, moderate to strong household income, and a sizable share of well-educated residents create a favorable market environment for Chick-fil-A. These demographics indicate that the Tulsa area can comfortably supply several locations and provide consistent demand for fast food options.
The cost of living in Tulsa County is an important factor in understanding consumer behavior and purchasing power. Overall, Tulsa's cost of living is below the national average, typically falling between 90 and 93% of an index, where 100%, where 100 represents the U.S. average. This means that housing, groceries, transportation, and other basic expenses tend to be more affordable in Tulsa compared to many other metropolitan areas in the country. A lower cost of living generally increases residents' real purchasing power because their incomes stretch further. For restaurants like Chick-fil-A, this creates a favorable environment. Households that do not feel overwhelmed by high living expenses are more likely to eat out or purchase convenient meals. Lower housing costs also leave more discretionary income available for food spending, which supports demand for fast food in Tulsa. Tulsa's cost of living advantage also attracts new residents, especially young professionals, families, and retirees who may be leaving more expensive cities. As new residents move into the area, demand for food service establishments, including Chick-fil-A, naturally increases. This growth allows Chick-fil-A to maintain strong customer traffic throughout the week. In addition, the relatively low cost of living helps employers like Chick-fil-A attract and retain workers. Employees do not need unusually high wages to maintain a comfortable standard of living, which helps control labor costs and support stability supply conditions. Altogether, Tulsa's cost of living characteristics support both the demand and supplies of Chick-fil-A's operations. Chick-fil-A operates in a strong and competitive environment in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The fast food market in this area fits the characteristics and monopolistic competition, with many firms offering similar but not differentiated products. Despite the competition, Chick-fil-A maintains a solid position because of its strong brand reputation, consistent quality, and efficient service model. Barriers to entry like high startup costs, limited prime locations, and established supply chains also help protect Chick-fil-A from new competitors. Economic conditions in Tulsa further support Chick-fil-A's success. The recovery of real GDP after the downturn in 2020 shows that the local economy has regained stability. Rising GDP levels and growing population boost consumer confidence and spending power. Demographic factors such as a large population, moderate household incomes, and a well-educated workforce create steady demand for convenient and affordable dining options. Tulsa's relatively low cost of living also plays a role by giving residents more disposable income and attracting new people to the area. Overall, Chick-fil-A is well positioned in Tulsa due to the strong market fundamentals, favorable economic trends, and supportive local demographic environment. These factors suggest that Chick-fil-A can expect stable or increasing demand in the coming years. And then let me show my ID. I'm Carson. Can you? Perfect. Okay.
Alrighty.